Welcome to Rauta. This time we go to Canada with a one-man project doing black metal. Can you already feel the smell and atmosphere of bedroom black metal? If so, rightfully so also. Before we start opening the box and explaining what's going on, let's take a look at the band's Metal Archive site website. That is, there's no date when this band was founded, but given the first album, Blood of the Wild, over here, was released originally digital in 2022, we can roughly pinpoint, yeah, it's roughly there. And here it is described as atmospheric black metal. I can pretty much concur with that, and having this one-man project is definitely tapping to the veins. Yes, it's a bedroom black metal act, but let's not judge. Let's go for album unboxing. Comes with a nature cover. Sun is shining down into the forest. Pretty nice already, giving the feeling. This is definitely atmospheric nature fulfilling black metal. And then you have 3 songs. This is something that I was like, okay, it's gonna be 15-20 minutes MCD or demo release, really. This is released through Wolfspell Records, and like I said, originally as a digital copy, independent and all that stuff. As I was soon to find out, this is almost 1 hour, about 57 or 58 minutes in total, which means the songs are long as hell, and that is already pinpointing me to another fact. Yes, when you have a one-man project and you have overextending your stay with the song lengths and all, it's gonna be something that is definitely totally right up my alley. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you are really super skilled with your craft and know how to do lengthy tracks and are able to keep it in check, yes, do it. But most of the time, and this applies about maybe 95 to 99% of bands, don't go beyond 6, 7, 8 minutes mark. I mean, if you do, you better have some really good ace up your sleeve, because most bands fail in that. Now, when you go beyond 10 minutes mark or like 20 minutes mark, like one of the tracks here, it's not likely to work that well, but here it is. So as I was saying, 57 minutes, and then you have songs like 16, 17, 23 minutes. And this is like, okay, if you want to make it catchy, if you want to make it memorable, cut it in pieces. Have less length and more repetition. Repetition, why? Because our human brain is most like going for certain patterns that get repeated after a while, and then you're like, okay, this is the chorus parts, this is a bridge, this is whatever. I mean, of course, you're kind of allowed to break the rules and do whatever you want. I'm not saying that. But here it is what separates the really good ones from the, well, less good ones. And I'm saying, whether I'm talking about Slayer, whether I'm talking about Bathory, goddamn Darkthrone, Person for that matter, there's a reason why the shorter songs are usually the ones that go for the sweet point. The ones that are like, this is what goes for me, this is too much filler and just, not really happening here. I mean, if you're writing a soundtrack and you just want to describe whatever is going there in the background, or you want to make background music, this is the way to go. I have to be here a little bit critical, because while this album has its merits, I am thinking this could have been done in so many better ways. Also, why not have some demos before you're making a full album? And some people might say, yeah, they are not listed, they are demos, but still saying it out loud, because a lot of bands make the mistake. They grab their instruments and figure it out. I have band, nobody's here stopping me, which is not a good thing, by the way. They're like, okay, I can do whatever they want, and I can release whatever I want, nobody's stopping me, haha, and flying the middle fingers out there. Now, to the good sides. This features actually quite a raw sound, which then again is pretty interesting coming for an atmospheric black metal band, which then often tend to be like a lukewarm between the super high produced powerful sound and the raw sound, ending up neither. Either you go for a little bit rawness and you're like, okay, let's go for, I don't know, be it Ulver or Ilion or whatever, Darkthrone, and you're like, okay, let's really go for the barbaric statements. Or then you have really good production, which is so good that even the weaker riffs sound good. Well, this is more on the rawer sound, and as such, it's not really for the mainstream audience right there. Not that 23 minutes atmospheric black metal bands, songs would be that in the first place. On that note, their vocals are also more on the rawer side with the rather raspy take. I kind of like them. They could be even more powerful and, more menacing, but I mean, I am definitely more into this style than rather safe and sound basic shriek, if you know what I mean. But then we go back to the songwriting part, and I'm like, while this band kind of nails it, the album feels a tad bit too lengthy, and to be honest, so do the songs. And I'm like thinking this could be really, really a lot better if there was more repetition with some of the better riffs, rather than everything falling back to the filler stuff, the background, whatever. And that's, I think, it's the one that hurts the most here, because you kind of all have the good vocals, you have the good songwriting sound, I mean guitar sound, obviously, but the songwriting is like, hey, I want to just go all the places, I'm gonna go for the background music and all, and this is where it drops the ball. It's not very memorable. But then again, there is, I guess, a place for proper background black metal too. So in case you want to go for the backdrop stuff, or you really love atmospheric black metal that don't have so-called hit songs or killer chorus parts and all that stuff, maybe this is the cup of tea for those people. Maybe it's just me having a problem with atmospheric black metal, because there are too many of those bands that really don't go anywhere besides the background. But I think Calnek has something interesting coming up, so maybe the next album will be more focused, more of that memorability, more of those hooks that kind of like, go in and then come out with your guts clenched in a fist or something like that. I don't know. But like I said, if you like atmospheric black metal and you don't mind a little bit of rawness in the mix, this is a way to go. Check it out. Coming from Canada, Nova Scotia. It's interesting to have something out there. And of course, you have these links provided in the description box. So you can start through Bandcamp and find more information through Instagram and whatnot. Now, off you go. Check it out. I hope you like it. Bye-bye.